Hey, this is James Pelton, and I just got back from Dubai from the GS Partners event. Had a really great time, met a lot of great people. Shout out to Joby and Roman and Caroline and Michael and everybody that I met there. Very hospitable, had a wonderful time. Dubai is a very cool place. So I want to talk about GS Partners, my take on the trip, and just my thoughts about what happened there. So I wanted to do a video just on my take on the event, how things went, my take on GS Partners as a whole, and whether or not it's a place that you should put your money. Before we get into it, I want to say I say negative things about projects. What usually happens when I say negative things about a project is they attack me, they attack my character, they make memes about me, and not to call out, well, I'll call them out specifically, the drip community. I've said negative things and they say, oh, you're a scammer, they make memes, they attack. ArcFi, I said they're Ponzi-nomic based. And they said, oh, you're a scammer. You don't know what you're talking about. GS Partners, I said some negative things about them. I said, oh, I think there's Ponzi-nomics. It's too confusing. There are a lot of red flags. And instead of attacking me saying, oh, he's a scammer, he doesn't know what he's talking about, what they did was they invited me to one of their events and they said, hey, we want to educate you and talk about your concerns. And I just want to shout out to GS Partners. That is the right way to handle skeptical investors. And I think other projects can take lessons from that. You do no good by attacking skeptical investors. You want them in your project, so you need to convince them and educate them. So shout out to the GS Partners community and team. I really appreciate them for just being patient with me, answering my questions, and just being a very positive and helpful community for not only myself, but for all new investors, all skeptical investors. Really appreciate that from them. So what is GS Partners? Okay, so if you go to their website now, you'll notice their website says Swiss Valorum Bank. So how this works is GSB is the parent company, and then they have a bunch of subsidiary companies underneath them. So there's a bunch of companies that are part of this same ecosystem. So one of them is Swiss Valorum Bank. So they have an actual licensed bank that is part of this GSB ecosystem. Another one is GSBD Swiss, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. There's also Swiss Value, which we'll talk about, Lydian World, G999, and Swiss Benet. And we'll talk about some of those and how they fit into the ecosystem here in a bit. So there's this ecosystem of businesses. GS Partners is the marketing. It's the network marketing company that brings people into this ecosystem. And then as people come into the ecosystem and capital comes into the ecosystem, it feeds these other businesses, generate revenue, which is how the business works. So some of my original hesitations when I first heard about GS Partners was, first off, I thought it was a small company that could just easily disappear. We've seen this with companies before where you put in some money and then one day you wake up and it's gone. Another thing is it was confusing. Why is it structured so weird? Which we'll touch on that here in a minute. Another problem was they had talked about how their revenue comes from BD Swiss, which then BD Swiss had come out and said, no, we don't have affiliation with GS Partners. So that was red flags for me, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And then also Lydian World, new blockchain, a metaverse, and I have probably 10 projects a week that talk to me about a new blockchain and a new metaverse. So when I heard about GS Partners, okay, blockchain and a metaverse, who needs that? And so those are my hesitations going into this, which again, I was very public about. I said, hey, these are my hesitations, and those are the things that they wanted to address with me. So my first real surprise was when I got to the event. It was huge. There was thousands of people in here, and I come to find out there's over 500,000 people that are part of this ecosystem. A lot of times projects come to me, they have 100, 200, market cap is $1 million or 500,000. That is not GS Partners in the GSB ecosystem. Over 500,000 people, hundreds of millions of dollars, possibly billions. I don't know the exact TVL, we might call it, but this is not a small business that could just easily go away. I was able to meet the CEO, talk with the CMO, meet a lot of the upper people there. So it's good to put face to face with a lot of the people that are making the decisions for this company. Also now with Swiss Valorum Bank, this is a fully licensed bank, which it's not easy to get a licensed bank. Okay. That's not just something where you can real quick spin up a licensed bank. That's a part of this ecosystem, and again, it'd be very difficult for that to just disappear overnight. So my second hesitation was that it was confusing. So you had to buy these certificates, then you had to load these certificates, and then you get a citizenship in the Lydian world. is very confusing. I'm a simpleton, and if things get above a certain complexity level, my brain turns off and I'm like, okay, on to the next thing. But after talking with a number of people from GS Partners, it makes sense to me, and I understand, having dealt with regulators in the past, a lot of the complexity is to comply with regulations. You can't just come out in the United States and say, invest this amount and you'll get this return. Okay, the SEC, the FTC, they will not allow that. You can't do that. That's the definition of a security, which if you become a security, basically, then only accredited investors can get into the investment, which is what they're not wanting. They're wanting this to not just be available for rich people. Rich people have many, many places they can put their money and get very good returns. But how it's set up in the US, at least, is if you have less than $1 million net worth, you're not an accredited investor, a lot of those opportunities are off the table. You're not legally able to get into a lot of those good investments. So GS Partners has worked with their lawyers to be fully compliant with the SEC and the FTC to word things and arrange things in a way where they can offer business. They can offer it to normal people, you and me. So the downside is it makes it not quite as straightforward, but I'll walk you through it. It's not actually too bad. So again, my third concern was the BD Swiss situation. They said, oh, our revenue's coming from BD Swiss, and then BD Swiss comes out and says, we have no affiliation with GS Partners. And that's obviously red flag. That screams, oh, this is a scam. But after talking with the GS Partners team and people from BD Swiss, my understanding of what happened is BD Swiss is a highly regulated Forex broker, okay? It's one of the most regulated, most legitimate Forex brokers that there is. So when word got to regulators that, hey, BD Swiss is operating with this unregulated network marketing company, which was partly my fault. I made a video that got a lot of views and got a lot of interest, and I think that's probably how around their way to this being in the spotlight. But regulators went to BD Swiss and they said, hey, you cannot be regulated and working with this non-regulated company. So immediately, BD Swiss doesn't want to lose their regulated licensed status. So immediately they put out a notice saying, hey, we have no affiliation with GS Partners. So you might notice on the GS Partners website, they say they're partnered now with GS BD Swiss. This is essentially some ex-employees of BD Swiss that have started a non-regulated version of BD Swiss. So it's essentially BD Swiss without the regulation. But what that allows is that they can work with GS Partners. It can stay open to average investors. So again, there's pros and cons to being regulated, not regulated. Regulated is obviously there's safety in that, but the cons of being regulated are, again, average people can't do it because they want to protect average people from risky investments, aka investments that actually make money. So I have a love-hate relationship with regulation, mostly hate. So also partnership with Swiss Value, which is essentially a hedge fund. We'll talk more about them here in a little bit, but they invest in businesses in fintech, real estate, and renewable energy. Basically, they capital into these businesses. They look for good opportunities, inject capital into those businesses, increase their valuation, and make a big chunk of money. That's how all the big players make their money. And Swiss Value, one of those big players. And my fourth and final hesitation was with Lydian World. Again, a new blockchain, a new metaverse. And again, my thinking is, why do we need a new blockchain? Why do we need a new metaverse? Who in the world is going to use it? These blockchains and metaverses only have value when you get people to use them, and it's who's going to use them. But then the vision started to make sense when I realized there's 500,000 people currently in this ecosystem. So they don't need outside people to use it. There's 500,000 people that they've brought in through the network marketing of GS Partners, and they are providing the volume and the usage on the blockchain and the metaverse. And sometime we'll have to do a separate video. I don't want to include too much information here, but we'll have to do, they have some big visions for this metaverse and this blockchain, but we'll talk about that at another time. So essentially, to sum it up, GS Partners network marketing brings people into the ecosystem where they invest in Swiss Value, Forex trading, real estate deals, fintech deals, metaverse, and blockchain, and then a portion of those profits are paid out to the GS Partners people that came in via the network marketing side. So my conclusion after the event, they are a network marketing company, which immediately turns some people off. They've been part of Amway or Mary Kay or something like that, and they're like, hey, we don't want anything to do with that. But if you're looking to grow an ecosystem, in a community, there is no faster way and a way that creates stronger bonds than network marketing. So it's not an automatic turnoff for me. You know, where network marketing goes wrong is when people promote products they don't actually believe in. Then you just are a paid shill, essentially. Are promoting projects you believe in, it can actually create a pretty tight-knit community, which is what they have at GS Partners. I was blown away at the event. It was family with each other. So my hesitations about just going all in is, first off, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but I feel often things are working great. There's a project that's just doing wonderful, and I'm hearing all these success stories from all these people making so much money. Then as soon as I get into it, that's when it falls apart. Something goes wrong. I don't, leave in the comments, leave in the comments down below if that's ever happened to you. I feel like that happens to me. Oh, going great for years. Then I get in and somehow I'm the kiss of death and then it dies. So that's a hesitancy for me. I'm afraid, I'm worried that's going to happen. Another concern I have is I'm worried I might just be a little too emotional. I just got back from the trip last night and you get this FOMO and this excitement from the event and hearing all these success stories from all these people. And your first thought, if you ever get this FOMO and you're like, I got home and I was like, I'm going to put $200,000 in this tonight. But I want to give it a little bit of time, make sure my FOMO, my emotions are down before I invest something significant. So I already have $60K in GS Partners. My plan for myself, this is not financial advice, I'm probably going to put in another 15 to 20K, but I want to just give it some time before I go just absolutely bonkers into the ecosystem. So on my journey to 1K a day in stable passive income, I've always had GS Partners down in the DGen category. I've decided I'm going to move them up to the semi-DGen. Okay, I don't believe that there is Ponzi-nomics going on anymore. And again, I could be wrong. I've been wrong about a lot of things before. This is just my gut feeling, my instinct after the information that I received on the trip. And there's still significant risk. You don't get 12% a month or whatever. I'll show you here in a little bit how the payouts work. You don't get that without a significant level of risk. So I'm going to repeat, don't risk more than you can afford to lose. Don't take a second mortgage on your house to put it into GS Partners. I would not recommend that. And again, take your profit. So again, if you're getting 12% a month, that's about 8 months to get all your money back. So again, I would encourage you to not just compound. Sometimes you do the calculations for compounding and you're like, oh, wow, if I compound for 5 years, I'll be a multi-millionaire. I would steer clear of that. Get your initial out. So if something happens, you're not behind in your financial journey, and then just play with house money after that point. So moving them up into semi-DGen. There you go. So again, significant risk. It all comes back to risk-reward ratio. So again, if there was these risks of it being unregulated, it's like that, and you got 3% a year like you do in a savings account, not worth it. Okay, that would not be, the risk there would not be worth the 3% a year that you get from that. But when you talk about double-digit per month returns, then I'm willing to put up with a little bit more risk in order to make that happen. So it's always a risk-reward ratio that you're trying to balance out. And in my opinion, again, not financial advice for you, at this point, it's worth it to put a portion of my portfolio into the risk reward of GS Partners. So let me show you how to get started. If you're interested, again, no pressure. I do have a referral link because this is a network marketing company. So again, the goal is, if you want to, you don't have to, but the goal is, hey, build a team under yourself, and then each of your team members can build a team under themselves. And you might say, well, that sounds like a pyramid scheme. The definition, what makes something a pyramid scheme, is if it's not possible to make money without doing referrals. And that is not the case with GS Partners. There are many people who all they do is they do their investment. They never do any kind of team building, and they do great. So it is not a pyramid scheme. It does have an MLM aspect to it, which again is a turnoff for some people. And not all investments are for all people. If you're turned off by network marketing, then yes, steer clear of GS Partners. It would not be for you. So first thing you're gonna do is create an account. So you go to the registration page, just typical information. I will say this is semi-regulated. So they have things designed in such a way to work with regulators. So once you sign up, there are KYC requirements. You have to take a picture of yourself and your ID, and you've probably done that at other websites before. Once you get your you get your account created, you get KYC'd. I'm going to tell you, don't worry. There's so many options here of different things that you can do. It's overwhelming. I would say just ignore them for now. And if you're wanting to get involved, just focus on the things that I'm going to tell you right here. These are the things you need to focus on. First, under financial, you're going to go to deposit. So again, that's how you get money into your GS Partners account. A lot of different options of how to get money in. You can do Ethereum, PaxG, Tron, BUSD, 20 USDT, Bitcoin, USDT on Ethereum, BNB. So there's a lot of different ways. You're going to click, let's say I want to do USDT on Tether. You copy the address, deposit some funds to that address, and then when you go to your dashboard, the funds will be in there and you're ready to go. Okay. And once you have some funds in there, I want to show you what you can buy right now. So this has changed. This is brand new. And I'm actually going to show you, I'm going to buy a certificate here with the funds that I have in here and show you how it works. So first you're going to go to purchase then under elemental certificates. So these are the different certificates you can buy. This one's 100 USDT, 250 USDT, 1,000 USDT, and it goes all the way up to, if you're going to put in 100,000, you can get this Prana certificate. And then you might see this max potential payout. And what it looks like off the bat is that, oh, I can put in 100 USDT and get 6,129 USDT out. That's not quite how it works. I'll show you here. But let's say you want to do the fast start, just 100 USDT. So I'm going to pick that one. So I'm going to click view details. And the first thing you need to do is you need to actually buy the certificate. Okay. So it's 100 USDT to buy the certificate. So I'm going to click here, exchange now. And then I had 100 Tron. I had 100 USDT on Tron, so I'll go ahead and do that. And then it just has you confirm. I'm going to spend 100 USDT on the Terra Elemental certificate. So I'm going to hit confirm. And then that by itself does not get you anything. Okay, now you have a certificate, but you have to load your certificate. And again, this is all, it seems confusing, but this is all just to make it compliant with regulations. So you go to load my certificate. So when you go to my certificates, let's go to load now. So this is you have a certificate. Now you're going to put money into your certificate. And there's different sectors. I think they're calling them blockfolios. I'm going to call them sectors that you can end up loading into. And you can get into as many or as few as you want to, but you need to get into at least one if you're going to get some kind of return. And to load it, you load it with the same amount that you used to buy the certificate. So if you bought the 100 USDT certificate, then your load amount for each of these sectors, whichever ones you want to be in, is going to be 100 USDT also. So in the different sectors, there's fintech, which is again with Swiss value businesses in the fintech is just financial technology, banks and sending money, bank software and software that sends money internationally, those types of things. That would all be under fintech. Probably my next video I'll do on GS Partners. We actually have some details on some of the fintech companies that they're working with, and we'll get more info on that. But when you put in 100 USDT, the first thing you'll notice is you get a 350 USDT load bonus. So after these 24 months, after 2 years of this certificate being active, you put in 100 USDT, and after 24 months, you get 350 USDT back out. So that's the first thing, is that's gonna be a 3.5x after 24 months. That's the first return that you get. The second is once you load, you get 5% weekly. So you're going to get 5 USDT a week for 52 weeks. So again, 5% of USDT for 52 weeks. That's going to be 260. So another 2.6x that you're going to get for a year. Then you also get 1.5% a month on whatever you load with. So if you're putting 100 USDT into the load, you're going to get 1.5 USDT for 24 months. So you're going to get a total of 36 USDT from that. And that's for 24 months. So all in all, from start to finish, you buy the certificate for 100 USDT. And when you load the fintech with another 100 USDT, you get 350 USDT after 24 months. You get 5 USDT a week for 52 weeks. And you get 1.5 USDT a month for 24 months. Okay, so 3 bonuses, three ways to make money from that. And then each of the sectors is going to be similar, but just different bonuses. So fintech software is one place you can put your money in. You can put into meta portfolio, which this is the Forex trading, where if you put in 100, you get a 200 USDT. I believe it's after 24 months, the same as the fintech. This one you get 2.5% every week for 52 weeks. And there's on the Forex trading, there's no promised monthly payback because you don't know how trading is going to do. It could be 6%, it could be less, could be more. You just don't know with Forex trading. That's the nature of the beast. So again, and you have the option, you can put 100 USDT into fintech and meta portfolio, or you could pick one or the other. And there's also real estate. You put in 100 USDT, you get 300 after 36 months. You get 3.5% for 52 weeks and 1.5% a month for 36 months. So again, it's just the numbers are a little bit different, and they don't actually allow, I can't create a spreadsheet. You know, that's what I would normally do. I'm not allowed to make a spreadsheet showing exactly how these numbers all work out. You'll have to do that yourself. In my private community, we can maybe do a little bit more of that, but that's real estate. And the fourth sector is renewables. You put in 100 USDT. So, you know, if you did all four of these, you'd have a total of 500 USDT in there. But this one, after 30 months, you get 400 USDT. You get 4% a week for 52 weeks. So that'd be if you put in 100 USDT into this, that'd be 4% a week, $4 a week. And then 1.5% a month for 30 months. And then the last two, supplements and gaming. Personally, I'm not interested in these right now. These actually pay out in supplement credits. So if you have supplements you want to buy, this is their partnership with, I mean, if you're a supplements person, then this might be a good option. This is Swiss Baness. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's a supplement company. So you can load up with 100 USDT, and then you get these bonuses, which I believe are in like supplement credits. So if you want supplements, this could be a good option. I'm not wanting supplements, so I'm not going to get into these. These first four are the ones I'm most interested in. And then there's also gaming credits, which there's a lot going on the gaming side of it. They're announcing a partnership with a big gaming company. They have not said who it is. Personally, I think it might be Electronic Arts, EA, but it's not confirmed. I don't know for sure. So after looking at all of them, I'm going to go into fintech. Okay. And I'll just show you how to load into fintech. Again, I just have a bunch of random coins sitting around, but let me go ahead and max load this 100. Again, you're depositing 100. It is not reversible. You can see I actually don't have 100. I have 94. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to put in 94 USDT. There we go. So it's successfully loaded. You have to load it fully. You need to get it up to 100. So I need to get 4 USDT. So I'll just use my ERC, and I just need 4 more. Oh, I needed 6. Rats. At least this is pretty user-friendly. Let me go back, put in 2 more. Okay. So I put that in. So now I have 100 USDT. So I bought the certificate for 100. I put 100 USDT into the load on the fintech. Your Terra fintech is now fully loaded. So now these are all activated. I'm going to get the 350 USDT after 24 months. I'm going to get 5 USDT a week for 52 weeks and 1.5 USDT a month for 24 months. And I'll load up one more. Let's say I want to do renewables. I think I have Ethereum. I'll put in 0.05 Ethereum to load that one into renewables. Okay, so now that's fully loaded. So now I've just unlocked these, the 400 USDT after 30 months. Let me refresh just to make sure. Okay, there. So I had to refresh to see that it's fully loaded. But 400 USDT after 30 months, $4, 4 USDT a week for 52 weeks, and 1.5 USDT a month. Let's see, I think I can scrape another 100 with what I have in here. So let me just do that real quick. Let's do the real estate one. Okay, there. So now real estate is fully loaded. So now I've loaded the fintech, the renewals, and the real estate. That's for 300 USDT after 36 months, 3.5% a week, and 1.5% a month. And you can see this on the My Certificates. I've loaded with 300. This is the current balance value. And you can see I loaded up fintech, loaded up real estate, loaded up renewables. So then each week when this 5%'s ready, the buttons will show up to either withdraw or compound. So again, you can withdraw, and there's a, down under financial, there's a withdraw where you just send it to your wallet, your exchange or wherever. And there you go. So you can stop there. Okay. So that's you've bought a certificate, you've loaded it up, you're going to start getting a return. And again, I showed you with just a 100 USDT certificate. You could do the same thing with the 1,000 USDT. Just know if you buy 1,000 USDT certificate and load it for 1,000, it's going to cost 2,000 to get in. And then if you're wanting to refer other people, you have to become a member. So you don't need to do this if you're just going to get the certificates and not mess with this. If you want to start referring people, a membership subscription, it's here on the dashboard. It's 33 USDT per month. And you can see it gets you access to their academy, member-only promotions, member-only discounts. That referral link is the main thing that you're looking for. And with that, you can start building your team. So I'm actually part of the Caribbean team. That's who referred me. So shout out to Michael. He got me this hat. So shout out to the Caribbean team. You guys are awesome, super friendly, super helpful. This is a network marketing company. And if you want to, you could make this a part-time job where you refer people in here. You could make it your full-time job. I talked to a gentleman. I'm actually going to have him on my channel. It was just an inspiring story. He went from being homeless to 6 figures a month in a pretty short time, just a couple of years. Network marketing is a very effective way of making money. So it turns some people off. So again, you just have to weigh that. I'm not going to advise you. You just have to weigh that for yourself. But know that there's opportunity for this to be a job for you. So I hope this was helpful for you. Please hit like, please comment down below your thoughts. What other concerns do you have? Again, I liked what I saw. I think it's worth the risk reward ratio for me. I don't think it's risk free. I think there's more things they could do transparency wise to see, hey, where's the revenue flowing exactly? A lot of people call it a scam. That's fine. I'm called a scammer, so I'm a little reluctant to believe people when they automatically call things a scam. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll probably do a members only video to do Q&A. I'll have some people from the team on from time to time where we can ask deeper questions. But yeah, love to hear what you think. So appreciate your time watching. Appreciate you guys very much. I really enjoy this actually, looking for different passive income opportunities, trying to weed through them, find out what's good, the bad, and the ugly. But I appreciate all you guys and hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.